Yes guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my 4 key tips to shedding body fat and to get as ripped as possible. But first of all, why should you even listen to me in the first place? My name is Max Rogers. I own a coaching business where I've helped nearly 500 people build a whole load of muscle, more than me, and lose a whole load of body fat over the last few years. So I'm going to dive into today's video, okay? What are my 4 keys to shedding as much fat as possible? Now, obviously number 1 is going to be, you've got to be in a deficit. You can be the healthiest guy in the world, doing all the right things. If you're in a surplus of calories, body fat does not come off. If you give your body too many calories, it stores it as energy. That is body fat. If you do not give it enough calories, it has to pull energy from somewhere. It takes it from fat stores. That is the deficit, okay? One of my key tips, this is the top one on my whiteboard of notes behind me, is it's how you get there, guys, okay? As we all know, there's a million different diets, there's a million different fat loss plans, there's a million different training plans, and we're all looking for the right one. We're all looking for, oh, he looks great, let me do that plan. She looks good, I'll copy her plan. A deficit is a deficit, okay? Calories are calories. The goal is to eat less calories than the body needs, so it has to use fat for energy, okay? It's very straightforward. We create that by energy expenditure coming up, or calories coming down, or a combination of both, but it's how you do it, okay? For example, if you're somebody that is starving in the morning and you get grumpy and you get brain fog and you need to have your breakfast, obviously intermittent fasting isn't for you, okay? It's all about calorie control, yes, but how you get there is important. Take me, for example. I like being lean. My job is about being lean. I love carbohydrates. So why would I be a diet on avocados, red meat, chicken thighs, olive oil, and things like that, and have a really high fat diet when I know, because protein is always going to be consistent when you're trying to lose body fat, why would I drive my fat super high and have my carbs super low if I love carbohydrates? For me, that wouldn't work. Although it's the deficit, this is what I mean, it's how you get there which matters. You need to find the way that works for you. That's the only way you're going to keep this weight off long term, which is the only thing that matters, okay? Tip number 2, guys, is you want to give yourself enough time. A lot of the reason people struggle to get very, very lean is because, you know, they decide, oh fuck, I've got a holiday in 4 weeks, time to get shredded. Let's just not eat for 4 weeks and go from sitting on the couch to doing 7 hours of cardio a week. Give yourself enough time. We've all got more fat than you think. The more time you give yourself, the more food you can eat, the more controlled you can be. If I said to you right now, right, you need to be shredded in 4 weeks. I know you're eating 3,000 calories, but I need you eating 1,200. I know you don't train anymore, but I need you in the gym 7 days a week, and I need you doing 30,000 steps a day. You're not gonna stick to it, and you're gonna rebound at the end of it and end up heavier than you are now. But if I said to you, hey, listen, we've got 16 to 20 weeks. I'm gonna start you slow in the gym. I'm gonna build your steps up from nothing. We're gonna start with some steady state cardio and creep it in. And then eventually we're gonna add in 1 HIIT class a week. Give yourself enough time. Just like you can't build loads of muscle in 4 weeks, you can't shed loads of fat in 4 weeks, okay? The more time you have, the more food you can eat. The more food you can eat, the more you'll enjoy the process. The more you'll enjoy the process, the more likely you are to stick to it. Tip number 3, this is one you're probably expecting, guys, is we need to strength train. For the women watching this, you need to strength train. When you go to the gym, the goal is to build muscle. Okay, whether you're in a deficit, maintenance phase, heavy surplus, the goal is to build muscle. If you're knackered and your carbs are low, you're going into the gym with the aim to build muscle, okay? Your time in the gym, it's not about burning calories, it's about building as much muscle as possible. So your training pretty much always stays the same, okay? Yes, we burn calories when we train, but the goal is to build muscle, or in a deficit, retain as much muscle as possible. This has huge implications on your metabolism, okay? And it's gonna allow you to burn more calories at rest, which is huge. The most important part of it, you only burn a small amount of calories through exercise. The majority of it is your BMR. There's so many other things that come into play, okay? When you're training to build muscle. So that means big compound lifts, squatting, deadlifting, pressing, rowing, leg pressing, lunging, prowlers, these big sort of movements, okay? Having intensity, big compound lifts, and training hard enough, okay? That's gonna allow you to keep your metabolism as high as possible. And that is how you retain fat loss when it's done. If you're somebody that says, I want to lose weight, and it's like, right, I'm going to run every day. I'm going to run 5K a day. I'm just not going to eat. I'm going to fast till 6 p.m. then have a soup. You're going to lose all your muscle. Your metabolism is going to crash. Eventually you'll fall off track, because we all do. And you're going to put on even more fat than when you started. And every single time you do it, you're going to get a bit fatter each time. And it's slightly harder to get down because your weight goes up. Your metabolism comes down. Your weight comes down. Your weight comes back up. Your metabolism stays here. It takes a while to climb. When you have no muscle, it's down here, guys. I have built a lot of muscle over the years, so I can diet down on a much higher calorie count than the average person, which makes it easy for me. I'm always lean because I can just eat a good amount of food. If I had to eat 1,800 calories to maintain this, I'd get fat pretty quick. But I've been really strategic about my fat loss phases and my muscle building phases over the last 10 years, okay? Tip number 4, okay? The keys to getting as lean as possible, guys, is you want to manage your fatigue the best you can, okay? What do I mean by that? Sleep. If you are sleeping 3 or 4 hours a night, you are awake 20 hours a day, you're going to eat more food. You're not going to recover from your workouts, so your workouts are going to suck, your lifts are going to drop, you're going to reduce muscle. We just spoke about how important it is to keep muscle, okay? We want to manage fatigue. So rest as much as possible. Do not train 7 days a week. Train 3 to 4 times a week. In a fat loss phase, I'm going to get some stick for this. I'm a big believer in it, and I'll say what I believe in. You want to buy a steady state cardio, zone 2, that 130 to 140 beats per minute with your heart rate. You want to bias that over conditioning. Try and do a Hyrox class, a 45-minute Hyrox class, when you annihilate yourself on a prowler, ski erg, assault bike, wall balls. Do that for 45 minutes and then look at how knackered you are afterwards. If you do 45 minutes of intense cardio like that, and then you only do 3,000 steps because you've had to go home and have a nap, and then you're so hungry you've eaten too much food, manage your fatigue. Creep your steps up, do steady state cardio, focus on your sleep. By doing this, you will manage your appetite. And at the end of the day, as tip number 1, the most important key, it is all about calorie control, guys. All right, I could talk about this all day, but I'm going to end the video here. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe. If you want me to answer any of your questions, please just drop me a comment and I will answer them. Thank you.